If you are a small business owner thinking about hiring a virtual assistant, the question you are really asking is this actually going to make a difference? Or am I just adding another expense and another person to manage? For most small businesses, yes, it is worth it. But the answer depends on three things: what you are currently doing yourself, what that time is actually costing you, and whether you hire the right person for the right role. I'm Jeff Amon, CRO and co-founder of ClearDesk. We have worked with more than 2,000 small business owners, and this question comes up in almost every first conversation. Here is the honest answer. The average small business owner spends 15 to 20 hours a week on tasks that do not require their expertise: inbox management, scheduling, data entry, follow-up calls, updating records. These tasks matter, but they do not require the person who built the business to be doing them. Every hour you spend on admin work is an hour you are not spending on client relationships, sales conversations, or the decisions that actually move your business forward. The question is not whether a VA costs money. The question is what your time costs when you are spending it on the wrong things. Think about what your week actually looks like. You get in Monday morning, and before you have had a chance to think about your priorities, your inbox has already set your agenda. Emails to respond to, a scheduling conflict to sort out, a follow-up that slipped through last week. By the time you have worked through the backlog, half the morning is gone. That pattern repeats every day, and the work that actually grows your business gets pushed to the end of the day when your energy is lowest. That is not a time management problem. That is a delegation problem. The management concern is the objection I hear most. The fear is that a VA creates more work than they remove. That fear is legitimate if you hire the wrong person with no structure. It disappears when you hire the right person and set up a simple daily rhythm from the start. Your VA works through a clear task list independently. At the end of the day, they send you a brief written recap: what was completed, what came up, what is pending. You read it in 5 minutes. No check-ins, no status meetings. Once they understand how you work, the relationship runs itself. Now let's talk about the numbers. A local hire costs between $50,000 and $75,000 per year, fully loaded. That includes salary, payroll taxes, benefits, equipment. A dedicated ClearDesk VA starts at $2,500 per month, full-time, no payroll taxes, no benefits, no overhead. That is a savings of up to 60%. But the more important number is what you do with the time you get back. If a VA returns 15 hours a week and you use even half of that on revenue-generating activity, what does that add up to over a year? One additional client per month? A sales conversation that finally got followed up on? The ROI is not just what you save, it is what you are able to generate with the time you recover. A VA is not worth it in two situations. First, if you do not have clearly defined, repeatable tasks to hand off, highly variable work is hard to delegate effectively. Second, if you hire a generalist for a role that requires specialization, a home care agency that hires a VA with no scheduling software experience will face a training gap. A bookkeeping firm that hires a VA who has never worked in QuickBooks faces the same problem. Immediate contribution requires someone who already knows your industry. This means if you are spending more than 10 hours a week on tasks someone else could handle, the math almost always works in your favor. Lower cost than a local hire, manageable overhead with the right structure, and the time you recover is worth more than what you are paying, as long as you hire someone with the right background for your specific business. At ClearDesk, less than 0.5% of applicants make it through our talent assurance protocol, language testing, skills assessment, behavioral interviewing, background verification, environment auditing, and role-specific evaluation. Our client satisfaction rate is 4.9 out of 5 across more than 2,000 business owners. No contract, month to month, with a 7-day money-back guarantee. You can book a consultation at the link in the description. It is a real conversation about your business, not a sales pitch. Thanks for watching.